Hey, everybody, this is Chuck Cook, your host here at Cook Baxter. It's great to be with you. I am actually at the Las Vegas airport where I was supposed to be early this morning, except I had to go to the hospital last night. Don't really know what happened, but man, I had some serious stomach pain. And 15 hours of morphine, I'm better. So I'm going to take a little bit later flight, but that meant I'm not doing a live on time, where I would have been doing it on time. And you probably hear some announcements in the background. There isn't a quiet place here. There are no quiet places in an airport. But let's talk about a couple things. First thing I want to talk about, find if I can find my, let's see what we got here. I'm going to talk about DACA, status of DACA. Status of DACA, they're all talking over each other. Hope you guys enjoy that. This is what it sounds like when you travel on DACA and your advanced parole, which you should be doing. The reason I'm bringing up DACA now, why this is so important, is because there's a lot of confusion with DACA right now because of the court's order. And people aren't realizing, and I think there's even some lawyers and some notarios telling people to apply for DACA brand new. Don't do that. There's been no announcement from the Trump administration about this particular case. And it's quite clear that what the Fifth Circuit did was keep the stay in place as it pertains to Texas. But the entire case, to me, and to all the advocates, appears to be stayed pending Supreme Court review. Now, the Trump administration could change that. And I know some people that filed for DACA in 2021, when Biden opened it back up, are today seeing notations on their online accounts saying your case is under review or your case was transferred. We do not know what that means. And honestly, I would be stunned, knocked me over with a feather stunned, if the Trump administration started granting new DACAs. I just didn't see that happening. So until you get further word from somebody you can trust, like us, or other advocates that work on your behalf, don't file a new DACA. Now, that said, if you have DACA, the rule remains. You keep applying for DACA and reapplying it within 1 year of expiration. So if somebody asked me yesterday, my DACA expires in January 2025. What should I do? You should renew 100%. Now, I know that immigration has said 6 months, 6 months beforehand. That's not a rule. That's what they would like you to do. But we have clients applying 1 year advance and getting approved quickly. In other words, not getting approved for 9 months. But this way, you're ensuring that at least you're doing the utmost you can, the most that you can, to keep your DACA active for as long as you possibly can. We don't know what SCOTUS is going to do, although I think SCOTUS is going to overturn the Fifth Circuit. Or if they don't overturn the Fifth Circuit, it'll just be in the Fifth Circuit, just be in Texas, which means anybody who lives in Texas that has DACA should leave. Clearly the governor doesn't want you there. Just leave. But for now, DACA is status quo. Now, finally on DACA, obviously, if you have not traveled on advanced parole, it is absolutely essential that you travel on advanced parole. Absolutely essential. Get it done. There's no fear. There's no risk. Now, I would tell you this. If you can travel through a major airport, LAX, JFK, Atlanta, you should do that. We've seen people have problems. Everybody's been let back in. Everybody has been let back in. But we see people get jerked around at the ports of entry in San Diego, Otay Mesa, Nogales. Just CBP can be jerks. They're different. They all are CBP, but the guys at the border, they seem to just really love jerking people around, as opposed to people at the airports who are all about efficiency. This, by the way, applies to people who have removal orders. Yes, you can still travel with the removal order. If you have a conviction for shoplifting that you think may be covered by Lake and Riley, as I've said many times before, Lake and Riley is not retroactive. Can't be retroactive. So it's okay. And frankly, if you have DACA and you have some sort of theft thing in the back, clearly if it's not enough to keep you out of DACA, it's not enough to keep you out of the United States. All right? Still feeling it in my stomach a little bit. The next thing I wanted to talk about was TPS here. Let me find a little sign here on TPS if I happen to have one. Let's see. Oh, I don't really have one. Let me edit one and I'll put it up here. So Monday, TPS for Venezuelans was found to be here we go. Boom, done. TPS for Venezuelans was found to be still good. So if DPS is not ending on Thursday for anybody with TPS from Venezuela. So if you have an extension pending, they have to renew the extension. And that stay is going to be in place for a long time. The judge's decision is bulletproof. As I've said before, I thought their way of they can get rid of TPS if they want to, but they have to follow the rules. And they didn't follow the rules. They followed the MAGA rules. Hey, we're MAGA, we can do what we want. My son used to say, do what I want. They can do what they want. Well, they can't do what they want because we have courts in America. By the way, did you know the Trump administration has lost 90% of the lawsuits brought against it in the last 67 days? 90% they've lost. And that number will go up because they must either have crappy lawyers or they just don't care. They just don't care. They don't care. So TPS for Venezuela, still active. The lawsuit for Haiti is still ongoing, but I think we'll get the same result. We'll get the same result there, and we won't have to worry about that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today is the H-1B lottery. The H-1B lottery was held starting on Saturday. Why are they doing it on Saturday? I don't have any idea. We put a little note up here for the lottery so we can talk about it a little bit. People can find it later. Oh, I have the world's worst typing skills with one finger on an iPhone. And here's the H-1B lottery. H-1B lottery came out on Monday, and the lottery itself is solid. I have a bunch of colleagues around the country, firms like mine that do a lot of H-1Bs, and we found. And by the way, we got selected for a couple of our DACA kids to get H-1Bs. The selection rates seem to be around 42 to 44% for master's degree candidates. Almost half of master's degree candidates got picked, and about 29 to 32% for regular bachelor's degree cases. So that's a good thing. Now, the way this works is you can't file for the lottery until April 1. You can't apply for the H-1B if you've been picked. We don't know. They haven't announced how many people they selected. So if their math was as bad this year as it was last year, we suspect there will be a second lottery sometime in July. That's what we suspect. But if you've been picked, you now have to file for your H-1B between April 1st and June 30th. So get going on that. Get it filed. I would not pay premium processing because you can't use the H-1B till October. So I pay them an extra $2,800 for really nothing. All right, those are the three things I wanted to talk about today. Let's take a look at, oh, by the way, if you want to reach me, this is how you do it, ccook@immigration.net. That's my email. You can also call for an appointment, 404-816-8611. We do these by Zoom mostly. Zoom is great. You don't have to come into the office. Clients all over the country. We're happy to help you wherever you are with any questions you have. All right, let's take a look at some questions we have here. Misael, ¿qué tal, Misael? Cece, good to see you, Cece. It's good afternoon because I'm not in the hospital anymore. That's even better. So Perla says here that heard a lot of lawyers encourage you to apply for DACA. Those lawyers are either criminals or stupid. They're stupid to be doing that because unless they're giving you a money back, they're going to give you a money back guarantee. Maybe you do it, but why? So you can give the government your information under Trump? Yeah, I would wait until you get official word on this. I would not be doing this. Really good comment there, Perla. Damien, how long after biometric will my work permit as it be approved? It says 14 months. Okay, so typically, what I tell clients, if you're filing an adjustment of status, you're going to get the receipt in a week. You're going to get the fingerprints in a month. You're going to get the work permit in 4 to 5 months, maybe a little bit less. That's generally speaking. Social Security card comes after the work permit, not before. They're part and parcel. Yuri, you're welcome. You're welcome. Other lawyers scaring people into applying for advanced parole. Don't be scared. You should apply. I don't see any risk. Because get this. To give you a little history lesson. Trump ended advanced parole for DACA the last time he was in office. But everybody who was out of the country on advanced parole was able to come back. So if you're concerned, what if Trump ends it? You'll still be able to come back. And I don't think he's going to end it. And I don't think he's going to end it for a very specific reason. I don't think he's going to end it until a Supreme Court decision because he doesn't want Congress to pass the DREAM Act. He doesn't want the DREAM Act passed. And because he doesn't want the DREAM Act passed, he would give them an excuse to do it if he ended DACA. So why do it? All right. Jesse, I have a question. I did advanced parole visit my sick grandmother in Guatemala. I got approved till April 19th. In fact, should I be planning to be back to LAX for trial for? No, you come back when you want to come back. As long as you come back till the 19th, you're fine. Go see your grandma. Totally awesome. I was just in Guatemala a few months ago. It was great. Really wonderful country, great food, great people. What's the update on DACA? ESL, you will have to go back to the beginning so I don't have to repeat it for everybody else who's been listening. New Jersey, I have a deportation order on 212 was approved. If ICE gets me, do I have a right to see a judge? Well, yes, you do, but why are you not applying for adjustment? I'm unclear here. Or do you? If you have an advance, are you DACA? Did you do it? I mean, I need more information. So 212 means you could still be deported. Okay, they can still reactivate that, but when you go, you don't have the bar. That's all that means. So don't get caught. But if you got DACA, get an advance parole, come back in and do your green card here. Jesse, I have a question. Oh, I didn't really answer that question. Kiri, hi, sorry, maybe I've asked too many questions. Can travel with DACA and removal? Yes, Kiri, were you not listening just now? I have only said this, I don't know, 400,000 times that people with removal orders can travel with DACA and you will be just fine. Go to Dreamers Together, the best DACA website out there, and read the stories of thousands of people exactly like you who've traveled without a problem since Trump became president. Moldoff says DACA was sent back to Hennes to decide how to modify his stay. So it is confusing, but for right now, it's still stayed. So you don't file anything, and you don't know who knows what Hennes is going to do? Who knows? Let's see. I skipped a little too far here. Sorry about that. I went really fast here. There we go. DACA, Andrew. DACA with 180 NLS. I was pursuing H-1B, didn't get picked. Can I pursue EB2, EB3? Yes, you can if you what is NLS? Are you referring to less than you don't have UPL, you don't have a lawful presence? Less? I mean, I don't know what NLS means. So I assume that you have less than 100 days of unlawful presence. Yeah, you can do an EB2 and EB3, absolutely. The problem with those, though, is there's lines. There's a line for EB2 of about 2 to 4 years and a line for EB3 right now about 4 to 5 years. H-1B is your best option. Keep applying. Grace Krasinski, have you seen Real ID federal website mentions how really applies to DACA? Well, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Stephen Miller's running this clown show. But if you've got your current Real ID, which is your state driver's license that you did get with DACA, you're still fine to travel on airplanes. Perla, I appreciate you thinking that I'm the best. It's awesome. Vanessa, great to see you again. Manuel, abogado, ¿cómo cree que quedará la demanda del TPS con la fecha de límite recíproca? Como dije, Manuel, ya ganaron. Ya el TPS por venezolanos van a seguir probablemente por los próximos 2 o 3 años, porque el corte va a tomar su tiempo. Entonces, estás bien, ponga su extensión o espera para ser aprobado. Nick, I plan to travel international with my wife. She's overstayed but has advanced parole. Dude, do not travel with your wife. Different situation than other people. In my humble opinion, you should not have even gotten an advanced parole for your wife. Really. I tell people in exactly your situation, where your wife overstayed a visa, to not get the advanced parole. Don't do it. Really. You are tempting fate. There's reports out of JFK of at least 3 women that I know of that were turned around, who were traveling on advanced parole from adjustment of status, who had overstayed previous visas. So do not do that. Do not travel internationally. Go to Hawaii. Feeling down. Hello, Chuck. U.S. is marketing for hiring new immigration officers. Must be good news. USCIS is hiring for new officers? I'm shocked by that. Was anything practicing my faith? Is anything prayer be negative? No, it's always good to have faith and exercise your faith and pray. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. Maria, I have a question. I have been married to my spouse since 2021. I now have a legal advanced parole. However, he has been in federal prison. Actually, the problem that you have is you're gonna need a co-sponsor for your finances unless you have your 10 years. So yeah, he can still sponsor you even though he's in federal prison. 100%. I've done it. I've done it. What do you think? Oh, I skipped somebody. Hold on. Oh, man, I'm gonna go back. I'll get to you. There it is. Andrea, can a doctor with unlawful presence apply for EB3? Well, you can because your mom can sponsor a waiver for you. Woohoo! Awesome. There you go. You can do it. This is why there's so many varieties. I was gonna say variedades. So many different things that are impacting immigration in individual cases. Where you normally say, well, if you've got an unlawful presence, you can't get a green card. Well, you can. If your mom is a citizen or resident, you get a waiver. So there's all kinds of great stuff when you've got 36 years of knowledge inside your brain. Sometimes you can figure out stuff other people can't. Only child applied for a parent, child died. Oh, that is tragic. So was it approved? If it was approved, yes, it can be revived. It was not approved, you cannot. No. Kiri Kappas, you are welcome. Jesse, you are welcome as well. I'll go back to Jesse here. Thank you, Jesse. You are welcome. Ismail, can you travel with DACA if you're undocumented domestically? Yes. Yes. Real ID is coming, but as far as I can tell, DACA is still valid. Now, somebody asked earlier on their website, they're talking about not letting DACA recipients, which is insane because DACA recipients are approved by the government to be here. So there'll be, again, more litigation to follow. Patricia, I hope I feel 100% by tomorrow. I'm about 80% right now. About 80%. Still got a little stomach thing, but we'll see what it is. When I went into the hospital, I was crunched up in a ball. The pain was unbelievable. I hadn't had pain like that. Probably since I blew up my back a few years ago. So I just finally said, I go to the hospital, and I just walked in and I said, look, I need morphine. I need morphine. Well, we can't just give you morphine. Oh, yes, you can. I'm going to collapse here if you don't give me something. So they kept me overnight just to watch me. And then, I walked out this morning. Kind of crazy, 15 hours. It's probably going to be a $10,000 bill, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Luz Cuellar, what do you recommend sending with your 212 as DACA applying for AOS? Sending with your DACA applying. Well, I recommend a complete application for the 212 and using a lawyer to file for it. That's what I recommend. You better have a psyche eval for your qualifying relative. You better have all kinds of evidence of the hardship they will suffer. Luz, if you don't have a lawyer, you should get one to do that. You do not want to do a 212 yourself. Keith, how are you doing? We're into the dignity bill. Dignity bill is junk. It's never going to pass. It's just, in fact, yesterday it was canceled. So never going to pass. Ihori, on the tweeter machine, you said ICE screwed up the NTA of a high-profile case. What do you mean? Talking about the Columbia. Well, there's like 7 different screw-ups on the form. And that's why his case is still in New Jersey. And I suspect that the judge may order his release soon. I do. He's clearly bondable. So we'll see. What do you think will happen with the demand for IRS risk information of suspected legal? So that demand was only to people with removal orders. It's limited to only people with removal orders. And clearly IRS has authority to do that. But what it means, they know it's going to cost them billions of dollars in tax revenue. Because if you're a new undocumented immigrant, why would you pay taxes? Why would you do it if they're going to turn your information over? It's a stupid idea, which is why the IRS always refused to do it previously. Grace Rosinski, do you think they will cancel DACA entirely? Well, I already talked about this in detail, and I do not think they're going to cancel DACA entirely because that means Congress, I believe, would move forward with the DREAM Act. I do. And I think the Democrats are going to control the House in 2026, and they might not control the Senate, but I think there'll be enough votes in the Senate to get that passed. So, I think we're in good shape there. I'm not really worried about that. As far as the DACA going away, I just don't see that happening anytime soon. AP is still safe, as I've said 10 million times. What if it is canceled? Then, as I said earlier, you will come back in, just like it happened in 2017 when Trump canceled it the first time. I know, Munoz, DACA should be new applications. No. Do not file new DACA applications. I talked about this. Go to the beginning. I explained it. I don't need to repeat it here. Go back to the beginning. No new app. Do not file a new DACA application. Thanks, Corey. I will get rid of it soon. Rayco, Lake and Riley is not retroactive. It is not retroactive. Now, has that been tested in court? No, but it is not. It is not retroactive. I'm telling you, I've litigated this stuff for 35 years. It is not retroactive. Jimenez Garcia came with a tourist visa when I was 14, overstayed. I'm now 35. I have a DACA as a 25th valid AP. Can I still travel? Yeah, you can travel with a valid AP. Go and have a good time. Sandra Venegas, someone got approved petition for a citizen brother back in 95. Get closed. Now he wants to fill a new petition. House gets grant. Oh, no, you will not. You don't recapture that date, Sandra. That date's gone. That's why you don't lose dates. Luli Payón, buenos tardes, señor Charles. Mi tío tiene residencia por más de 70 años, pero los últimos 10 años está viviendo en México y viene a Atlanta de vez en cuando ahorita hace 4 años. Su residencia está perdida. Está perdida, Ludi, lo siento. Está perdida. Question. My daughter is 21 years old and I have DACA. Could she apply? You have to have a legal entry, Molina. Janet, you need to get it. Just get it. Just get it. You'll be fine. I promise you. Go to Dreamers Together. They will help you do the advanced parole. You'll have it within 4 months. You'll go. You'll come back. You get a green card for your daughter. Make it happen. Don't worry about it. Really. Just don't worry. Be happy. Adela Barajas, do you do waivers? Yes, I've probably done 5,000 waivers. 601s are taking 28 months right now. Do we do PO box instead? I do not know what you're talking about. I do not know. Ludi, y si los planes son venir, cree que no debe hacerlo porque corre riesgo de perder la residencia. Estás hablando de su tío. Su tío ya perdió su residencia. When in 2017? Oh, it was September when Trump ended DACA. And then the courts brought it back, but they never brought back never brought it back against parole. You didn't hear that, Giovanni. Maybe you weren't around back then. Those of us with gray hair remember these things. Withholding removal, A10, can they remove you? They can to a different country, but they have to give you a chance to go in front of a judge so that they have to prove it's safe to send you there. So, yeah, they still can. Rios Ariana, I am planning to go to Mexico next week with my multiple advanced parole. I'm asking if he told me to stop using it or I was going to stay in Mexico next time. I have any issues? Okay. I don't know why you're waiting for a call back, Rios. We answer our phones 24/7. You're better off making an appointment on our website, immigration.net. If you had to make an appointment there online, our phones are busy. I've got 2 receptionists and then plus an online company that does it. And still we can't answer every phone call. So go make an appointment online. But I will tell you that if I'm you, I am not traveling through a port of entry. You better fly. Are you the one that had a problem with the border? If so, obviously don't go back to the border. Fly, 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 fly. Powerless on the wall. In 2001, I came with tourist visa and stayed. Now I have DACA. I've never been back to my country to my dad. Yeah, you can absolutely do it, Paula. Go have a great time. Attorney, to remove residency conditions, will an effective spouse wants to use his parents' address for a joint income tax? I remember, no, obviously you don't put, your tax return is your address that you share with your wife or your husband. You don't put your parents' address down. That's a guaranteed denial. You want to get jerked around? Do that. That's a terrible idea. Who told you that was a good idea? It's a terrible idea. I have probation. Can I still do so? Do what? Oh, you want probation for what? What do you want probation for? Dude, more information. Pedro Alberto, does your office have experience? Oh my God. Again, look at me. Do you think I've been doing NIW since they created them in 1990? I've probably done 5,000 NIW cases. Business field is one of the hardest fields. One of the hardest fields. This is why we do, if you send me your CV and what you think your national interest is, in an email, I will send you a response. Okay? If a lawyer pressures you to file VAWA, you don't, oh my God, are you going one of those TikTok lawyers and their VAWA garbage? Run now. Get a second opinion from a qualified person. Safe to travel with 212H waiver, absolutely. Maria, if you are a DACA recipient, will getting married to someone with no status affect you in the future? No. Might affect your spouse. Arthur Abba, That's not my flight. Don't worry. Is it true that when your case gets denied, you can be placed in removal? It is 100% true. They're putting everybody into deportation proceedings. But here's the dirty little secret. There's 4 million people in front of you in line. There's only 600 judges. It could be a decade before they hear your case. García Siriaco. A las épocas quedaron pendientes que pasara hasta ahora. Hay muchos comentarios de abogados que no están procesándolos, no lo están adjudicando. Recuérdense, ellos pueden negar casos. Lo que no pueden hacer es aprobarlos y no he visto ninguna persona aprobado. Ten cuidado con abogados que no son expertos en DACA como yo. Mayra, hola, tengo que poner en mi aplicación si trabajo ilegalmente. Ponga su trabajo por los últimos 5 años. Si nunca reclamaste la sesión, estás bien. Sorry, I joined late. If I live in Texas, DACA expires in August, except there's going to be a stay in place because they're going to appeal to the Supreme Court, and you're fine. So I don't know when your DACA actually expires. You should be applying now. You should have applied months ago, a year ago, for your DACA renewal. And you should move, Luis. Come to Georgia. Georgia's awesome. Somebody did ask me which state is best, and I'm going to tell you, I would find a blue state. I would move to a blue state, is what I would do. Do you think that since Trump hasn't touched AP for DACA, no, again, it means that he doesn't want Congress to act on the DREAM Act, so he's not touching it. That's why. Deanna, is there a way to adjust status as an undergrad student? Well, if you marry, fall in love with a U.S. citizen, have an employer sponsor you for a job doesn't require experience, sure, but that takes like 5 years. So you got those two things. You can travel to Puerto Rico with DACA. Yes, you can. Still confused for DACA renewals after the court decision. Luis, if you go back to the beginning of this video, I explain it very clearly. Right, look where it says DACA. Paula, you're welcome. Thank you very much. How accurate is OBIM FOIA? Oh, it's pretty accurate. Generally speaking, it's pretty accurate. So if they say you entered or didn't enter, I would go with that. Rios, so there won't be a problem if I fly because I live an hour and a half. I live 1.5 hours from Port of Entry, only 1 hour. Yeah, I would fly, dude. I think you have much better chances flying to not have a problem. Do you recommend doing AP for prisoners subject to permanent bar? Sure. There's no problem in doing that. And then there's the theory that if you come back on parole, you can count the time 10 years here. There is that theory. All right, lots of great questions today. I appreciate everybody dialing in. Again, you know who I am. I'm Charles Cook, managing partner at Cook Baxter. You need to reach me. This is the phone number, 404-816-8611. Or you can email me at ccook@immigration.net. I'll be back live next Wednesday. I won't be in an airport. And I'll see you guys then. Have a great week. Bye-bye.